Okay. So, Melody, do you want to tell us about the opening of the song and the quote, the sunrise
Sure.
inspiration?
Um, so Nadia asked to think about sunrise ceremony and the beginning of the day as a thematic part of the song, and was thinking about that in terms of the video lining up as well as the composition of it. And she said, "It's okay if you miss it, but it'd be nice if you got it." And so the rest of the composition is based around a quote from Ralph and the meter of his voice. So I decided to bring in a related concept, which is the word bedabin. We've talked about a bit, everyone working like past, present, and future in the interview yesterday. And how bedabin works out is B is like a prefix, da is the present, and bun is like a past tense in the Anishinaabe language. So it's kind of like three different tenses all put together. A bit of grammar nerdery, but the word bedabin is also recognized as being the beginning of the day, being the sunrise. So it's something that talks about the cyclical nature of tying together past, present, and future at the start of every day when the sun comes above the horizon. And so then I bring that concept back to Rolf's teachings about sound emerging from the center of the universe as being the inspiration for this piece. So given that it's a direct translation of what a sunrise is, I decided to take my voice meter and also have that sort of bedab and I was just using that sort of rhythm as a play and playing that phrase 4 times, which is also a pretty significant repetition. And then the nice thing was after we did it once, then the loons decided to start singing back to us and almost had that sort of bedabin type of chorus going as well. So it felt like almost like they're engaging with the material too. And after the loons sang, that just kind of felt like the take we needed to keep.
I'm going to play it here with the loons.
Bedabin, bedabin.
And then you try to mimic with the viola here. Wait for it to come in. And that opens the piece. Then we're in. And then do you want to talk about the Ralph quote that you used for the bass line right here? The left-hand piano.
Debiinaawe Giizhigon. And
What does that mean?
Debiinaawe Giizhigon, his translation of that was the center of the universe, and it goes back very early on into the Anishinaabe creation story, and like there's a larger context for it, but for him, he was thinking about especially our work in music and what that relation has, I guess, to Anishinaabe spirituality, and he shared that teaching with us. And Debiinaawe Giizhigon, Gabina. So, Debiinaawe Giizhigon is what I drove the phrasing and the meter of the piece. Everything is sevens, which is another significant number, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Debiinaawe Giizhigon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And listening back to a recording we had of Ralph, it had that sort of Debiinaawe Giizhigon. And so I just worked with that to kind of create a melody and a bit of a bass line, and then we built up the whole song from there.
Great. And then we also did not have a studio because we're in Sioux Lookout. So we chose to record at the director Nadia's parents' place in a cabin, and also out on the end of the dock, which was beautiful and sounded great. And we got some loon sounds in it.
We're very fortunate that Nadia's family has this beautiful, beautiful property, and I'm sure viewers will see 15 different time lapses of sunsets at various points. Sioux Lookout, visiting in May. I've actually did this a few years ago. I was living in Ottawa, and everything in Sioux Lookout opens in June. There's definitely an economy based upon fishing, but with ice still out on the lake, the fishing season hasn't started yet, so we're a couple of weeks too early to rent cabins. So it's really fortunate that we had access to Nadia's family's property instead. I knew that there's a lack of commercial studio space in Sioux Lookout, and I wanted the more space and creativity in a space like this where you can control your own settings more. And being close to land, and because there's a radio station downtown and like a youth service center, but then you're just kind of in the basement of a building in downtown Sioux Lookout. And for me, this whole project about is returning to land, connection to land and water, and being able to build up our own studio like this with between the equipment that both of us already had access to brought us so much closer, like literally out on the dock.
You actually hear the sound of the water that's behind you if you listen closely, and in one of the channels.
Yeah.
We got 3 channels for the viola on the dock to be safe, but yeah. Anything else you want to talk about the song? We got keys, we got lots of viola layers with a bunch of effects, and clean, and doing a mix of the 2 of those.
Yeah, it's been fun, a new challenge working with keys. It's my mother who named me. She's the one who named me Melody. I get asked that 20 times a day. She's a wonderful pianist. I'm maybe not. It's never been my primary instrument, but as a solo artist, I've always built up my compositions viola on top of viola, and I thought the textural contrast, especially with such like a rhythmic piece, would lend itself well to the piano. It's something I brought in to the studio. Even if I wasn't to end up recording it, I find the piano a really useful tool just to figure out different chord progressions, even if I don't end up recording it. But I'm happy to have some keys in a track that I'm releasing for the first time.
Yeah, that sounds great. And in 7/8, which is not a easy endeavor if you're not a professional pianist.
Yeah, 7/8 was another fun curveball. I love odd meters, but haven't written too much in odd meters. So it's, yeah, I think a lot of this composition was also setting myself up some different challenges on a musical level and trying to expand my sound a little bit.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Oh, miigwech.